Hi guys, and welcome back to the vlog. Today I am going to rank memorable bowling balls that I threw during college on a tier-based list. I apologize incredibly because I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so my voice is a little bit hoarse, but that's why I decided to do this kind of sit-down video, more chill, more relaxing. And I have the bowling balls listed down here, so if I'm looking down here, that's why. I'm gonna try and do this chronologically. So the newer balls should be towards the end of the video, and the older balls that I started with maybe my freshman year would be towards the beginning. We are gonna start off with the Hammer Raw Hammer. This is one of the balls that was on my first Arsenal list that traveled to the first varsity tournament with the team with me. I didn't really care for this ball. I don't think I threw it at all. I only brought it to one tournament and I maybe threw it once. I hated it. So this one unfortunately is gonna go into the D list. It's just really not my favorite. Hammer does so much better with other bowling balls. They have so many better hybrids. This is a hybrid ball, and there's just hundreds of balls that I'd rather pick over the Hammer Raw Hammer. The next one that I'm going to rank is the Hammer Scorpion, which was again one of those first balls that I had in the first Arsenal list. If you would have asked me right then and there in that time frame, my freshman year, where I would rank this ball, it would be S, top tier. But since I've grown, since I've thrown different balls throughout college, I'm gonna give this one a B. It was a really good ball. I feel like it died out really quickly, but it was good for when I used it. I was obsessed with this ball for the longest time. So the last ball that I'm gonna go over from my initial Arsenal list was my Black Widow 2.0. Again, this is one of those balls where if you would have asked me in the moment, I would have said, oh, A, like that was such a good ball. And I feel like it died out pretty quickly. It did good for what I needed it for, but just not one of my favorites. So I'm gonna put the Black Widow 2.0 in the C category. The next ball on this list is the Zenith Solid. I had a love-hate relationship with this ball. I'm gonna insert a clip here, and the ball that's being thrown by both parties is the Zenith Solid. This is why we don't really like the Zenith Solid. Basically, after this tournament, I quit throwing it. It's just bad vibes, bad juju. This ball just really wasn't one of my favorites, and I just think that there's so many better solids. This ball was one of the solids where I'm like, do I even like throwing solid bowling balls? So I'm gonna put it in the D category. Next, however, though, the Zenith Pearl. This ball was my first favorite ball in college bowling. It was the best ball I threw. It had such good motion, such good reaction. It was the ball that I was throwing when we got second at our home tournament my freshman year, which was great because that was the highest we had placed up until that point for me personally, being a part of that team. So it just brought a lot of good memories with it. The only downside, and the only reason it's not on the S tier, is because it did die fairly quickly. And it might just be because I used it all the time because I loved it. But it did die out on me pretty quickly. So that's the reason it's not in the S tier, but I'm still gonna give it an A-list mention. Back to solids. My Hammer Envy, the original Envy solid. Hammer was lucky to regain my trust after they came out with this ball. I don't know what it was about the ball. It died out so quickly. It just didn't look good on anything, not even shots that we would practice with at practice, not during a tournament, really nowhere it looked good. So this one lasted a good about 2 tournaments on my Arsenal card, and then that one got ditched. That one's going D category, D level. The Tundra Fire. I just really didn't like this ball. It wasn't the ball for me. I shouldn't have even gotten it personally. You live and learn from those experiences. It just did not look good in my hand. It really never reacted the way I wanted it to, and it lasted 1 tournament. I think currently to this day it maybe has 2 or 3 games on it because it just never looked good. I would throw it once and it would look horrible. D list. Next on the list, and this is where we're moving into a little bit more recent times, maybe around sophomore and maybe a little bit into junior year, but mainly sophomore year, the Paragon Hybrid. I did not enjoy this ball. I think mainly the reason I didn't enjoy it is I didn't like the drilling. It was drilled pinned through the ring finger, and I think I just didn't enjoy the way that read off my hands. It was a decent ball, but it would just never be my first pick. Whenever I would have to throw it at a tournament, I just wouldn't come off my hand right. Just everything about that ball was not my favorite. But I do contribute that a little bit to the drilling, that I had it drilled that way. So my fault. Maybe it'd be better if I had it drilled a different way. So I'm gonna put the Paragon Hybrid in the C category. Continuing on with hybrids, the next hybrid I got after my Paragon Hybrid was the Black Widow 2.0 hybrid. I thought I would enjoy this hybrid, and I did enjoy this hybrid. It was a good ball. It was very strong. So sometimes it would be too strong for the conditions that we were on, which is why it's not higher on this list, but I'm gonna put that ball in the B category. The second pearl that I really had on my arsenal card for a long time was my Hammer 3D Offset Attack. I had a love-hate relationship with this ball. I really liked the way the ball looked off my hand and the way that it read, but I don't know what it was. I just really didn't like throwing the ball. It just never came off my hand super great to the point where I was like, yes, I get to throw my Hammer 3D Offset Attack. So I'm gonna put this ball in the B category. Hammer was lucky to get me back and get me to trust this ball, the Hammer Envy Tour. This ball is one of my favorite balls. I have gotten 2 of them. I could have probably done for a third, but they did discontinue this ball, which sad day. Hammer, bring it back. Come on, give it to us. The Envy Tour is absolutely one of those balls where I gravitated towards. I thought my Envy Tour was a great ball for later in the day. I used that a lot on burnt conditions where we had to play really far left, and it just read so good. It came off my hand so nice. So Hammer, you got me back with this ball. This ball is going the S tier. First ball that made the S tier. But you'll see a little trend as I figure out what I like in a bowling ball, how the more recent balls are higher ranked, just because you figure out what you like and what you don't like in a bowling ball. My Hammer Envy Tour was one of those balls that continued to stay in my arsenal list from junior to senior year. I never changed it. And another ball like that is my Track Stealth, the original Track Stealth. Again, got 2 of these balls. I love that ball. It just comes off my hand so nice. This was mainly my starter ball. It's the strongest solid. It just read the lane so nice. Sometimes it would be a little bit too strong, but that's where my Envy Tour came in. So having those 2 balls as my 2 solids that I would bring to a tournament was amazing. So this one, it's gotta go in the S tier. The Track Stealth hybrid was the hybrid I used during my senior year, and I think a little bit in my junior year, but mainly my senior year. This ball was a really good ball. I don't really know why I don't love it. There's no reason why I don't love it, because I do think it looks really good, but it's just, I don't know. It's not really my favorite ball. So I'm gonna put this ball in the A tier, the A category. I can't really tell you what I want this ball to be different. No hate against this ball because it is a very good ball, but within my 4 balls, not including my spare ball, in my arsenal list, this is the one that I gravitate towards the least. Rounding out the balls I actually brought to competition this year is my Hammer Effect. This ball was definitely one of my favorite balls. Right out of box. You know you're gonna like a ball when you throw it, and I threw this ball, fell in love with it immediately. It is one of those balls, whenever Phil would want me to switch balls, I'd be like, my Hammer Effect, like, well, let's try that. It felt so good off my hand. It has a great roll to it, and I have absolutely no complaints about it, so S tier. The last 2 balls I'm going to talk about, I kind of considered my practice balls, and I know that these balls deserve to get a shot, but with the way that my arsenal was, I loved my arsenal so much, I just couldn't give up a spot for them. But my last 2 balls that I'm going to go over are the Stealth Mode and the Effect Tour. Starting out with the Stealth Mode, again, in my love of the Stealth solid, I just had to get this ball, and I really liked this ball. It was a great practice ball, is what I'm going to call it. Because I really only threw it at practice, I would definitely bring it to a tournament where I had more than 5 balls allowed. One thing about these 2 balls for my practice balls is that I had the fingertips put in a size bigger, and that accounts for my swelling because my fingertips swell the second I even look at salt. So I sized up on those 2 balls so I wouldn't have to worry about that when I go to practice just from eating lunch. I didn't have to worry what I was eating for lunch and if that will affect if I'm able to bowl that day because my fingertips don't fit in the ball. I just love the way that the Track Stealth Mode came off my hand. The bigger fingertips definitely helped. Because I never threw it at a tournament, I have a hard time giving it the S tier, so I'm gonna put it on the A list. Lastly, the last ball we're gonna talk about today is the Hammer Effect Tour. This ball was hyped up. It was hyped up so much. We had to wait a while to get it, but we finally got it. My Hammer Effect Tour, I really love it. It switched out with my Stealth Mode on which solid I was gonna bring to practice, and there's no complaints about this ball. Again, the only reason why it's not in the S tier is because I didn't throw it at a tournament, so I'm gonna give it an A-list ranking. So that's gonna do this video. I know there's a ton of balls that I'm missing that I did throw at a tournament that maybe just weren't super memorable to me. It was fun looking back and looking at my first arsenal because that is just a crazy development for me. There is no hate to any of these companies because all of these companies make very good bowling balls. It's just what I like in a ball versus what somebody else likes in a ball. If you like one of these balls that I rated in the D list, tell me in the comments and tell me that I'm wrong, because I would love to hear you out on that one. So again, no hate to these ball companies. I love you all. Thank you for being our sponsors at Lindenwood. And we love all the balls that you make, and we appreciate everything that you do for our school. And that's gonna do this video. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.